Not a storm, not one of the terrifying ones that rattles your spine and your memories, just that steady gray curtain that turns the yard into its own small world. The boards under your feet are damp around the edges. The air cool enough that the steam off your coffee is actually visible. You lower yourself carefully into your chair, feeling every inch of your fused back, trying not to curse the Jenga stack that now lives in your spine. The cushion sighs under you. The yard hums soft and wet. It is just you, the rain, the birds arguing in the distance, and the ache. Okay, you mutter, wrapping your hands around the mug. Court is in session, I guess. You are not really expecting anything dramatic. You just breathe and stare out at the bird bath and the roses and the soggy grass. But somewhere between one blink and the next, you realize you are not alone. He is sitting in the other chair at your little pergola table like it is the most normal thing in the world. No thunderclap, no angel chorus. Just Jesus, rain in his hair, robe damp at the hem. His own mug in his hands like he has been here forever. His eyes are clear and kind and too much, and exactly what you needed all at once. I ordered the house blend, he says mildly. I hear it is a favorite. You huff out a breath that wants to be a laugh and a sob at the same time. You would, you say. You show up in my pergola and crack a coffee joke. Your mouth twitches. You started this, he reminds you. You said we could meet here. You take a shaky sip just to have something to do with your hands. The rain patters on the pergola roof, steady and unbothered, like background music. I have questions, you say finally. I know, he answers, not flinching. Say them. You stare down into the dark surface of your coffee, at your own reflection, at the woman who feels like a walking contradiction. Then the words start coming out slow at first, then faster. Okay, so aren't women not preachers, you blurt? What even is the difference between a preacher and a prophet? Am I allowed to be a prophet, or am I just a daughter? Because what they taught me and what you say do not always match, and I do not know which one is wrong. There it is, the whole knotted thing laid on the wet table between you. He does not offended. Looks like this. He leans, the chair creaking under the shift of his weight, and watches you. You are not wrong for noticing the tension, he says quietly. You grew up hearing one set of rules. You walked with me and heard another. That is going to feel like a tear in the fabric until we sit with it. You blink at him, rain soft all around you, trying not to look away. Preachers, he begins, are often the ones with the microphone, the pulpit, the title. Nothing wrong with that in itself. But prophets? His eyes sharpen a little, like a spark catching. Prophets are the fire alarms. The ones who speak my heart into real moments, real mess, real cities. The dispatcher part of your brain is tracking every word, trying to route it into categories that make sense. So what am I then, you ask, almost defiant. Because I'm not trying to steal a pulpit. I do not even want one. But I cannot shut up, and I see patterns, and it feels like my whole body is one big alarm bell. And then I get told to be quiet, or to submit, or that I am out of order. So which is it, Jesus? Am I disobedient, or did you wire me wrong? His eyes soften, but they do not pity you. You are not wired wrong, he says, each word deliberate. And you are not disobedient for sounding an alarm I gave you. You are a daughter, you are my daughter. And you are walking in a prophetic calling, even when you are just sitting here with coffee in your pajama pants. You open your mouth, then close it because something in your chest just cracked like old ice. But they said women, he lifts a hand gentle but firm. They said many things, he agrees. Some of them were done in my name. Some of them were done in fear. Some were done in control. I am not throwing every teacher you ever had into the fire, but I'm asking you to let me be louder than they are. The rain presses down around the pergola, like the whole world is listening in. What about Leah, you ask suddenly, the old ache rising. Because I keep getting cast as Leah. Passed over, utility wife. Good worker, not first choice. And I am tired. I'm tired of bleeding out children and callings and sermons in my bones for people who still do not choose me. His gaze turns fierce at that, lion bright. You are not disposable, he says, and your heart stutters because he does not say it gently. You have never been disposable. Men may treat you like a tool. Institutions may use you like a resource, but I am the one who writes the lineage, and I did not hide Leah. I put her in the story on purpose. You swallow. So what does that make me? He leans forward now, elbows on his knees, like this part really matters. Leah birthed Judah, he says softly. Judah means praise. Out of a girl nobody chose came the line that would carry my own name. Out of her ache came a sound that shifted history. You have walked through your own Leah season. You know what it is to be unchosen, used, overlooked. But look at what has been born in you in that place. You can feel it already, that wild, half-terrifying, half-beautiful thing inside you. The loud girl, the pattern seer, the one who will not shut up even when her back is burning and her heart is cracked. This, you say slowly, eyes stinging, this loud, limping prophet girl in me, this is my Judah. Yes, he says, and it is like a verdict. This is what was birthed in your Leah season. This is not you failing. This is what has come out of all that losing and not being chosen and standing walls alone. Your dispatcher brain that catches patterns, your loud voice, your limp, your scars. This is your Judah. This is your praise. You let out a shaking breath, half laugh, half sob. So I am allowed to be this. Not a preacher on a stage, a prophet on a pergola. He smiles then, not small, but full and proud and pleased. You are authorized, he says. You are not waiting on a committee's vote. I already know you. I already chose you. I am not ashamed of how loud you are. I am not embarrassed by your limp. The rain taps harder for a moment, like it is agreeing. You look down at your hands, at the knotted scars hidden under your clothes, at the way your fingers tremble around the mug. I do not want to misrepresent you, you admit quietly. I've gotten it wrong before. I have hurt people. I have been messy and angry and sarcastic and so very tired. What if I blow it again? He does not rush to fix that. He lets it hang between you for a second, real and heavy. Peter blew it, he says eventually. Jonah ran. Job argued. James and John wanted to call down fire on people I loved. His eyes crinkle at the corners. I did not revoke their names. I did not erase their stories. I walked with them through the mess. You are not loved because you get it. Right every time. You are loved, and then you learn to walk that out. Sometimes loudly, sometimes limping. You stare at him throat tight. So you are not mad about how I am handling all this? About the marriage stuff, the dispatch grief, the yelling in the car, the fact that I am on this porch arguing with you instead of performing some perfect devotional. His answer is immediate. I am not mad at you, he says. I am with you in the car, in the hospital bathroom, in the sunroom, on this pergola. I am not afraid of your volume. I am not allergic to your questions. I knew exactly who you were when I called you. You look out at the rain, letting that sentence soak into the cracked places. What am I supposed to do with this Leah Judah thing then? You ask more quietly. Because it sounds pretty in a sermon, but I still have to wake up in this body and live this life. That is exactly where it belongs, he says. Not in a polished sermon, in this body, in this yard, in this Nona bunker. You let that loud, limping Judah girl in you praise me in the middle of all of it. Not by pretending you are not hurting, by telling the truth and then trusting me in it. You nod, eyes burning. So, just like Leah birthed Judah, you say slowly, feeling the words land, this is what you birthed in me, in my season of Leah. His eyes are steady on yours. Yes, he says, this girl, this voice, this pattern spotter, this watchtower, this is your Judah. You are my prophetic daughter, even on days you feel like the problem child. You are not disqualified. You glance down at your lap, at the scars he already knows, at the tremor you cannot hide. I feel like such a mess, you whisper, like I am limping through everything. I do not look like the victory stories people like to platform. He tilts his head, studying you like you are art he really enjoys. You are limping to joy, he says. You are not performing a finish line pose. You are walking with me with a visible limp. That is not a failure. That is a testimony. People believe me more when they see I walk with daughters who limp. You let out a shaky laugh that tastes like relief. So I am. A loud limping prophet girl in a Walmart dress with a fused spine and a bird bath. That sounds exactly like someone I would sit with in the rain, he says, amused. Silence settles then, but it is not empty. The rain on the pergola roof, the distant drip from a gutter, the soft rustle of wet leaves, the faint movement of a bird on the fence. You sip your coffee and realize your shoulders have dropped an inch. After a while, you speak again. Thank you for staying, you say, voice low, for being here in the rain, for letting me argue and cry, and ask if I am even allowed to exist like this, for not flinching. He nods like this is the most obvious thing in the world. I like being with you, he answers simply. You are not a project to me. You are my girl. I am not clocking your performance. I am sharing your coffee. You swallow hard. I want to make you happy, you admit, to bring you something that actually matters. Not just survive, not just drag myself to another shift. I want to hand you something at the end of this that you can smile over. He leans in, eyes bright. You already are, he says. This, right here, trust in the middle of questions. Praise in the middle of pain. Coming to sit with me when you could have shut the door and gone numb. This is the offering. This is your Judah. You breathe that in, slow, like medicine. The rain keeps falling. The coffee in your mug is almost gone. The ache in your back has not vanished, but it is held now, somehow. Seen. You look at him, really look, memorizing the way he looks sitting in your cheap chair under your weather-stained pergola in Salty Daisy, like this is holy ground. Thank you for having coffee with me, you say finally. For staying in the rain. For calling me daughter when I feel like a walking problem file. For telling me I get to be this loud, limping prophet girl and not a mistake. He smiles, softer now, like the edges are blurring in the... Edges of the rain. You are welcome, he says. I'm not going anywhere. You feel it then, that subtle shift you have been circling all along. Not just I believe you love me because the Bible says so, but I know you like being here. I can tell. I know that you will, you whisper, more to the damp air than to his face now. I do not just have faith and believe it. I know it because I can tell you truly love to be with me, and I truly love to be with you. The chair across from you is still occupied and somehow also not. His nearness slides from in front of you to right behind your shoulder, that familiar sense that if you turned your head just right, you would see him in your peripheral. The rain keeps falling. Your coffee is gone. Your back still hurts. Your life is still complicated. But the girl under the pergola, in the go-go kart season with the fused spine and the dispatcher brain, is settled into something truer, limping. Loud-known Judah daughter, you sit there a little longer in the sound of the rain, letting that be your praise. You stay there until the rain softens, from a steady curtain to a light hush, like the sky is catching its breath. At some point, you realize you are not straining to hear him anymore. You are just together, like when someone you love is in the next room, and you can tell, without looking up, that you are not alone in the house. You shift carefully in your chair, your back reminding you exactly what month of fusion recovery you are in. So what do you want from me today? You murmur. Actually, not the church answer. The real one. His response comes from that over-your-shoulder place now. Close enough that it feels like warmth along your spine. I want you to breathe and know that I delight in you, he says. Look at the sky once. Drink some water. Let yourself be loved. That is plenty for today. You huff out a tiny laugh. That sounds too small, you say. I am used to big emergencies, sirens, fixing everything. I do not know how to feel okay with breathe and drink your water as an assignment. I know, he answers, not offended in the least. That is why it is your assignment. You are not on dispatch tonight. You are my recovering daughter under the pergola. Let me be the one on the radio. You picture him with a headset for half a second and almost snort your coffee, if there were any left. So if I mess up later, you say slowly, chasing the thought that always circles back, if I snap or over-explain or panic and try to clean everybody's emotional house again, you are still here? Tap on the shoulder still works? I am not back to being the problem file. There's the faintest brush, the kind you have come to recognize, conviction without condemnation. I will tap your shoulder, he promises. You will know when it is me, clear, specific, not a vague fog. And when you turn, you will find me, not a slammed file drawer. I correct daughters I plan to keep, not projects I am tired of. Something in your chest finally unclenches at that word, keep. You sit with that, watching one last drip fall from the pergola beam. The yard in front of you is wet, ordinary, holy. Okay, you breathe. Today, I will be the loud, limping Judah girl in the Nona bunker who drinks her water, looks at the sky, and lets herself be loved. Even if I have to remind myself of it 12 times. From just behind you, gentle and certain, and every single time you remember it, that is praise. Then let that be how we land it. Rain girl under the pergola, fused spine, Walmart dress, dispatcher brain, Nona heart. Loud, limping Judah daughter who sings her praise today and lets herself be loved. Case closed.